arm blink.
Link armed. Wow, this is a cool video.
Hey everyone, how's your day going? Let me know in the comments below, like and subscribe, all that stuff. Anyway, blink cameras are pretty cool, but they're a bit of a pain to control. Opening apps, pressing buttons. Nobody's got time for that. So today we're going to use a Siri shortcut to arm and disarm blink without needing to open the blink app. Disarm blink.
Link disarmed. Very nice. Remember to press the like button on this video.
Now I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty cool to me, so let's get started. Okay, so let's take a look at what we need and how we're going to set everything up. Firstly, which is kind of a nice to have, is if you've got a blink camera system. If you don't have that, then this video is kind of useless, so sorry about that. Then you have your phone that you're probably watching this video on, so remember to press like. And then what we'll do is we are going to set up a Siri shortcut that's going to talk to our blink account, and our blink account will talk to our cameras to arm and disarm them. Nice and simple. Oh yes, just one minor thing, I was actually lying to you. We need another component in the middle here, which we call IFFFTTT. Now that stands for if this, then that. Now with that name, we already lost half of the audience, but don't stress about it, it's pretty simple. So what we're going to do is we are going to set up our IFFFTTT account, then we are going to link it to our blink account, which will then control our cameras, and then we are going to set up a Siri shortcut that can talk to IFFFTTT. And then lastly, we're also going to give a nice circle to our phone so it doesn't feel left out. So with all that talking out of the way, let's actually do something and set up IFFTTT. So let's go ahead and download IFFT from the App Store. Now I always need to remind myself, it's if this, then that. Okay, that's the one you want. Just let it download and let's open it up. Okay, now we're ready to create our account. I happen to already have one, so you can just go ahead and create your account while I sign in. So once you've created your account, you'll be greeted with this IFFT Pro page. But don't stress about it, you don't need a Pro account or anything like that. On the free account, we can set up 5 actions or applets, which is more than enough for us. So you can go ahead and press that button that they don't want you to press, maybe later. Okay, and with that, we're done with step 1, which is setting up our account. Now we'll move to step 2, which is linking our blink account. And we'll do that using actions in IFFT. I actually think they call it applets instead of actions, but I like to keep things simple, so I'm just going to call it actions. Okay, now we're ready to set up our actions. So we're going to go to the bottom here, which is create. And here you can see where the app's name comes from. If this, then that. Very clever. Okay, I hope they're happy. So we are going to use Siri to trigger this action later. For now, we're just going to say if, let's say add, and we're just going to say button, because we won't be pressing buttons, don't worry. But for now, it's a button. If button press, then do what? Let's say add, and then we search for blink. Now we've got 2 options, which is blink and blink Europe. I think when you set up your blink account, you can choose between Europe and the US. But anyway, I'm far away, so I'm going to choose Europe. And let's go ahead. Okay, now things are starting to get interesting. Here we can see our 2 actions, arm and disarm. Let's just start with arm. And now we need to sign into our blink account. So let's just go ahead and say connect. And now I'm going to sign in with my blink credentials. So this is the credentials that you use to sign into your blink account. I hope you can remember them because I really can't. Luckily mine auto-completes. So now it says it's going to email me a verification PIN. But for some reason I got an SMS. This is typical blink style. Things are a little bit weird. So if you don't get an email, maybe check your SMSs. So I got this message that says don't share my PIN. But there it is. It's a one-time PIN, so whatever. Let's paste that into IFFT. Now we just make sure we've got the correct account selected. and the correct system. If you're lucky enough to have multiple systems, just check that. I've had in the past that it didn't show the system. I just closed the app and came back later. So if you don't see your system, just try again later. Okay, great. So now we've got if button press, then arm blink. That's starting to look like what we want. So let's continue. Let's just call it something better and finish. I don't think it actually needs your location, but I'm just going to say allow. And now we get to this complex screen, but you don't have to worry about it. They're just trying to be fancy. So let's just close that. Okay, and then let's do the exact same thing for disarm. So we've got 2 actions in the end. Okay, and now if I go to my applets, we've got 2 applets, one for disarm blink and one for arm blink. And things are starting to look pretty cool. Okay, so we've now completed step 2, which is linking iFFTTT to our Blink account. And Blink can talk to our cameras over here. So we, in theory, can now disarm and arm Blink from iFFTTT, but that's not quite good enough. So what we're going to do now is we are going to add step 4, which is a Siri shortcut that will talk to iFFTTT. So let's go ahead. This is where we're going to use the Shortcuts app. So if you don't just see the Shortcuts app, you can just search for it on your phone or use your eyes and you can see it. So let's open up Shortcuts. I've got some shortcuts set up here already, but under my shortcuts, all shortcuts, whatever, we're going to add a new one over here. So we're going to say plus. Let's make one for arm. So I'm just going to say arm blink. And now we're going to say add action. All right. And we're going to search for iFFTTI, if this, then that. And we're going to trigger an applet. So they call those action thingies an applet. I hope they enjoy their complex names. Okay. Trigger applet. We're going to press this little blue thingy here and we're going to say choose an applet. Arm. All right. And now we can run it. And that should now arm blink. We can check now if it works. But maybe you're driving in your car and you want to have some confirmation. So we can add some additional steps after this. So this UI is extremely confusing. Just ignore this next action section. And you want to close this stupid thing over here. So just press that over there. And now you can see we can search for more actions. So let's say something. Let's say speak text. So speak blink disarmed. Okay. And then maybe you're driving around, you can't hear properly. So let's add a notification also. So we're going to say no notification, show notification. And we can say blink armed. Okay. Now we've got our action set up. We can just, this UI is so confusing. Just say done over here. There's just too many things going on. Say done. You can see the engineers built this. Now we can run it. And that should work in theory. It's probably just not saying something because we're in the app. So then let's do the same to disarm. Okay, that was nice and quick. Now you can press these buttons manually to arm and disarm, but that's not really what we promised. So what we can now also do is we can call these actions using their names and Siri. So let's go ahead and test that quickly. Hey, arm blink.
Link armed.
And of course, it's going to take a while in the background just to do its thing. Here we go. And blink is armed. Okay, so we are done with step 4. Siri is set up and it can trigger our actions. In theory, we are done, but we said our phone feels a little bit left out and it also wants a nice circle. So let's just look at some tips and tricks that you can do to further streamline the experience. So the first thing we can do is we can just change the colors and the icons and the names of our shortcuts a little bit. So if we go in the three dots at the top there, we can change the color and we can change the icon of the shortcut. Then if you go out, you can also change the title of the notification to be extra fancy. And yeah, that just makes things a little bit easier to identify. Okay, and that looks much better. Now, what we can do is you can also add this as buttons. If you don't want to use Siri, it's kind of weird talking to your phone sometimes. You can go three dots and you go in this little settings thingy over here at the top right. And here you can say add to home screen, which is kind of nice. So add. And now I've got on blink here. Also, if you don't want to do that, you can add a widget. So if you press and hold on your home screen, and you can say plus over there, and you can add a widget. So let's say shortcuts. And we can say disarm blink. Let's say you've got multiple options on how you want to make it look. Disarm blink, add widget. And you can move that widget to wherever you want, obviously. So now I've got a disarm blink. Okay, and with that, we've reached the end of this video. You can now arm and disarm blink to your heart's content using Siri. I feel like we've become good friends in this video and I don't really know how to end it. So I'm just going to leave. But anyway, if you've got any comments, leave them below. I'll try to reply on any questions. And yeah, remember to subscribe to this channel if you want to see more. Although last time I said I'm not going to make more videos and then I made this one by accident. So anyway, before it gets more awkward, I'm just going to leave. And then I'll see you next time, maybe. Okay, have a nice day. Goodbye.